All right. My name's Bruce. I'm 30 years old. I live in Southern Illinois. I've talked to a few friends and people, and they always said, well, maybe you should make videos, do some YouTube videos. So I didn't really know about it, kind of tossed the idea around a little bit. So here's my first one. All I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about me, maybe touch on some of my political views, kind of where I stand on the political spectrum, tell you what I do for a living, some of my interests, things like that. And yeah, then as I grow, whether it be a small fan base or any fan base at all for that matter, um, I'll take ideas for things to talk about. Currently, I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I'm leasing a truck through Carrier One and their lease purchase program. I've been here since May of 2017, or not May, April of 2017. I came in as not having any flatbed experience. So when I started here, I had to go 2 weeks on a truck with a trainer. That was that, so I could learn how to do the securement and all that good stuff. So I did that, and I've been on my own since the last week in April. So that's been pretty exciting, pretty fun. The summer was pretty good to me. I made some pretty decent money. Not going to get into any numbers because I look at it this way: my financial business isn't anybody else's. So if that's something that you're looking for, is to see what kind of money people make at Carrier One, that's what the recruiters are for. If you run into another driver at a truck stop, even if you run into me at a truck stop, I might discuss it with you one-on-one in person, but not something I'm just going to blatantly put out there. The winter's been pretty rough. Rates went down, so you're having to run more to make what you were making. In the summer, I was making good money and was home pretty much every weekend. So, hoping to get back to that soon. I'm currently on my way home to Southern Illinois. I'm actually in Southern Indiana, 200 miles from the house, and ran out of hours on my clock. And due to DOT regulations, I had to stop and spend the night about 3 to 3.5 hours from the house. So instead of being at home sleeping in my own bed, it's another night in the truck. So that kind of sucks. It's one of the more downside to the trucking industry is, the clock and the DOT regulations and things of that nature. Anyways, a little bit about me. I'm a country boy. I enjoy hunting. I enjoy fishing. Enjoy spending time with the kids. Spending time with my girlfriend, things like that. So that's pretty much what I do when I'm at home, is spend time with those guys, or go hunting and fishing. I do a lot of that and really enjoy rabbit hunting. Maybe one day I'll do a video of when I'm running my dogs. If I'm in a place where you can see a good run or something like that, then I may do a video of that or something. Not really sure, kind of open to any ideas. So if you have any ideas, let me know, and we can try it. I'm up for anything. So told you I was going to talk a little bit about my views on politics. Being from the state of Illinois right now, one of the major hot button issues is the governor and new bans trying to be implemented on firearms. Here's my opinion. I live in the southern part of the state, more rural. The state of Illinois is kind of a crap state for people that aren't from the Chicago area. And the reason I say it's a crap state is because, a lot of our taxes, a lot of our rules, a lot of the laws passed, things of that nature are geared towards the Chicago area. So We do have a lot of liberal laws. And before I get into that, I'd like to say, I don't like to say that I'm conservative, but I lean a little bit more to the right than I do to the left. My personal opinion is this: extremism either direction is bad. Bad for a state, bad for a county, whatever. It's just bad. Extremism is bad. It limits your way of thinking. It limits the ability for people to look at both sides, because extremism tends to make you believe that your way is the correct way and all other ways are wrong. And that's not the case, But I'll talk a little bit about the firearms and the firearm bans that are going on in my state. So the state's trying to pass a law banning any assault-style weapon, which, there's plenty of videos out there that'll tell you any weapon can be an assault weapon. It becomes an assault weapon when you assault somebody with it. Pure and simple. But the assault style weapons that have become very popular, the state's trying to ban all of them. I don't personally agree with that, because I look at it this way: a criminal is always going to be a criminal. So when you restrict firearms from the good law-abiding citizens and take them out of their hands, then you're putting better weaponry in the hands of criminals, and you're allowing your citizens to try and defend themselves with a weapon that's not as good as the weapon that the criminal's using to try and take your land, or take your personal property, your money, your life, whatever. I mean, those are all situations that are possibilities. They happen every day in this country. So those are things that actually do matter. That's my personal belief on it. So in things regarding that nature, I definitely tend to be more conservative on. I tend to believe, I am a Christian, so, my beliefs, my personal beliefs on things are, well, that's a sin. But at the end of the day, I have to look at myself when I say that's a sin, we shouldn't allow that. I have to say, I've got enough to answer to God for. It's not my place, not my business to tell anyone else how to live their life. My job as a Christian is to tell people about God. And, if they are going to change the way they live their life, that's on them. I mean, I don't understand things that don't directly affect me, because, when you try to think about it, you're like, well, I don't know what I would do if that was me, But, when I say I'm in the middle, things like abortion, granted, I don't believe that it would be something that I would ever do. I don't believe that people should be able to have an abortion just because, or should have an abortion just because they was careless in who they were sleeping with. It's not a form of birth control. There's condoms, there's a morning after pill, there's, birth control, abstinence. There's a lot of things out there that could have taken the place of abortion. I believe when you make a decision that you should deal with the consequences of your decision. With that being said, at the end of the day, who am I to judge someone for having an abortion? You know, I've got enough sins in my own life that I have to atone for. And, you know, someone that has an abortion, you know, with the way I believe, if the way I believe in my religion is correct, which I believe it is, you know, they're going to have to answer to God for their decisions. You know, and so with that being said, you know, things like that, it's like, you know, gay marriage is the same way. It's like, you know, it's not something I would do. It's not something I believe in. But at the end of the day, these people have the right to choose, you know, have the right to choose who they're going to sleep with, who they're going to spend their life with. And who are we to tell these people that they can't, you know, have insurance of their life partner? You know, at the end of the day, a heterosexual couple, they have insurance, you know. If one passes before the other, the property that they've accumulated together goes to the spouse until they pass, and then it goes to the next of kin if there's not a will. And just because people chose to spend their life with a member of the same sex, that doesn't mean they should be given any different treatment. It's a human right. You know, you built this life together, and because there's nothing legally binding you together, you can't. You lose everything. It goes to the next of kin of whoever actually owned it on paper. You know, things like that. It's like, this is insane, you know. Right, at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. This country needs to get back to thinking things through with some common sense in their mind. And think about, you know, well, if I was in that person's shoes, how would I feel if I lost everything because we couldn't legally get married? Granted, I know that now we're past that as a country. You know, it's legal for homosexual couples to get married. And, you know, so that is a step, in my opinion, in the right direction. Whether I agree with it based on my religious views or not, it's only right that they have the same rights. You know, it's not up to me or any other Christian to judge these people. You know, we all have our own sins to atone for. And, you know, these people do deserve to have what's theirs. You know, so that's where I see that. So, you know, I believe we need more politicians in office that are in the middle ground. I believe we need to have more politicians in office that base their judgments and their votes on what's best for the people. They use more common sense. You know, they don't stem and drop down and, you know, get on board with all kinds of lobbyists and let the lobbyists base their vote. You know, your constituents, the people that vote in your district, or who puts you in office. You come from that area. You know these people. They're your neighbors. They're people you went to school with. You know, do what's right for them. That's why you got voted in. You got voted in to be the voice of the people. You know. So in Illinois, you know, our senators tend to listen to the people from Chicago. Why? Because it's the greatest populace of people. You know. It sucks for people like me that don't necessarily agree with the same beliefs and principles, and I don't see the needs that the people in Chicago see in the same way. And that's okay. It's okay for us to disagree. But, at the same time, these people that are voting on these laws in our state and in the federal government need to remember, hey, there's a whole lot of people in this state that our decisions affect that have nothing to do with Cook County, that have nothing to do with the suburbs of Chicago. They're important too. And I feel like our state's forgotten that. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I know it's a little bit long. Hopefully we can get it shortened. Some may be shorter, some may be longer. And hopefully I can get you guys to share this video with some people, and maybe we can come up with some other ideas that you would like to hear my thoughts on. I appreciate you watching it, and I hope you all have a good response to this. Thank you for your time.